Dr. Fasi Yusuf, now we're getting two awful news now, because before we went on this short break, we heard from our correspondent in Bayelsa State, speaking with someone from the Electoral Commission there, saying that some of those materials were carted away by someone. Just as we were talking about that, coming back, we're getting to hear from someone who's supposed to oversee the security in that state, saying he's been calling those that are supposed to report to him, and he doesn't seem to be getting any kind of report. What is happening? Why is it so?
Well, as an analyst, I was expecting that in Imo State.
Where?
I was also expecting that in River State. I was also expecting that in Bayelsa State, because the stakes are quite high in these three states. But the legal dictum says, let the other party or parties be heard. He has stated his own side. Well, we also want to put the other side to have the opportunity of stating their own case. But that aside, the Evidence Act, our law now allows for electronic evidence.
That's a good thing.
Yes. So if they're clever enough to really police those wars properly, and they're able to have electronic gadgets installed, they're able to capture some of these things, then I think the tribunal should be able to do something about it, if it gets to that level. And secondly, don't forget that we're talking about the use of a reader's card by machine and all the rest. Now, according to the governor, they were able to vote. They were able to know from there. They can call in evidence to establish if actually they voted. If they voted, what were the outcome of the various votes that were cast in the various places? So the events are just unfolding. But I think what we'll do at this stage is to appeal to our people to have a belief in the system, that at the end of the day, the truth will prevail and justice will reign supreme.
We'll quickly come back to you. We go to the INEC headquarters where Lanre Lasisi is standing by live. Lanre, yes, I'm now on to you. Lanre, you're still very much at the INEC headquarters. So many comments. We spoke with Kayode today, and he's been able to clarify so many issues, especially bordering on elections that are taking place in parts of the country today. Tell us what you've been able to gather, any development concerning the elections going on now.
Okay, well, Suleiman, I also watched the interaction with Kayode this morning, and I think you took him on a lot of those issues that are troubling Nigerians. But right now, nothing much has been said by the commission. We're told that there's going to be a media briefing not too long from now, so we're still standing by and waiting for that. But I'm here right now in the sector, and the point that should be of interest to all of us right now, the Collation Center, where we're expecting all the results from around Nigeria. I also have here with me the Deputy Director, Election Management. Yes, Chima. Please, thank you for taking time out with us.
Thank you, Lanre.
Yes. He's going to take us around and just give us a little understanding of what will be happening here. So, Chima, help me out here. What should Nigerians expect to unfold here?
Thank you, Lanre, and welcome to the National Collation Center. The law prescribes that the presidential election should be collated at the National Collation Center. And for this year, for this exercise, for this election, it is the ICC. Okay. This is the spot. This is where the presidential results will be collated finally, and a return made of a candidate that has won the election one way or the other.
Okay, so looking through this hall now, what is happening in the different parts of what you've set out here?
The National Collation Center functions like a system. Okay. At the head of it is the Chief Electoral Commissioner, who is prescribed by law to be the returning officer for the presidential election. You have security teams, you have administration teams, you have maintenance teams, you have infrastructure teams setting up the whole place, IT and all that. And of course, you have the Collation Support Secretariat for the National Collation Center. So when results are collated by the scope at the state collation centers, that is at the states.
Scope being?
The scope is the state collation officer for presidential election. It is one for every state. And he aggregates all the results from the PU level. You have an RA collation officer, you have an LGA collation officer, and now you have the scope, who is at the state. That result is now transmitted to the National Collation Center.
Okay, so he will be expected to bring those results to the center here?
Yes, he will have to bring the hard copy result, ECAD, to the center here physically.
Okay.
But before this happens, there is a measure that is taken to transmit those results ahead of time by a secure channel to a designated account of the returning officer, who shall have an advance information as to what has happened in the state because of commutation delays, flight schedules, and all that. So before the collation officer from the state, the scope arrives, the returning officer already has an advance copy of what happened in the states. And now when he comes here, he is processed, documented by that secretariat. Yes. That is where they also check that what he has is consistent with what he had transmitted prior to coming down here. And then if everything is okay, he's queued for presentation of the results to the returning officer.
Okay, so who are those that would expect to sit on the table facing us here?
Okay, the layout is simple but it's standard. At the center table on the high platform,
Yes.
will sit in the middle, the returning officer. Beside him will be an aide who will assist him with all the receipts and all the documentation that he needs to do. Then sitting with him will be the national commissioners of INEC, the chief security officials like the IG, if he's here, or his rep, from the army and from the police, from the SSS, all the stakeholders who have contributed to the success of this exercise. They are partners, so they will be sitting up there with him as well. Then the podium you're looking at is the point from where...
The one with all the mics?
Yes.
Already there.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the point from where the scope will be presenting their results. You know, there are 37 of them. So they will present the results to the returning officer, to the hearing of everyone. And then the results, of course, will be projected on the screens you see about you. Yes. So that all may see and hear at the same time.
I also observed you have some TV sets at different parts of the hall. What role would those be serving?
Same. Televisions are usually for communication. I'm sure you understand that very well. So the projected results as they are being presented, of course, media will zoom in on them. It's natural. So that they will also have to transmit this live to the screens. These are various channels, as you can see. So that wherever you're seated, by the way, you will be able to look left or look right, and you'll be seeing the results as well.
Now, when do we expect, we can see the stage is set, when do we expect people to start coming, the actors, and when do we expect the place to begin to be active?
Well, in terms of time, exact time, that's hard to tell. But I guess, for results of areas that have come sometime today, I believe.
Well, anyway, I knew I was going to have that blackout there anyway because of that glitch. We'll come back to you, Lanre, just in case, you're still watching. He's right there at the National Collation Center. Well, it will be active any time from now. He couldn't give us a definite time, but he's giving us an insight into how it will operate. Collation of results already in so many other places, but specifically we have a collation of results ongoing in Osun State. I think Lanre should be back, but yes, he's back online. Lanre, apologies. Technology, anyway, glitched there. We lost you there for a moment. Good to have you back.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, I must say it was quite an interesting moment. Now I have an insight into how the National Collation Center is, and they have made it so so great and effective to the extent that you really won't lose anything, any of the action, because you have some monitoring sets around the place. The last thing he said before we lost signals there, maybe you can go over it again, because you were in the process of asking him at what point the place will be very active, and as he was talking, we lost you there.
Okay, Suleiman, he was very careful and tried to explain that he can't say very definitely when the results will start floating in, but he hazarded a guess and said he hopes by late afternoon, in the evening, some of the states that are close to the Federal Capital Territory, some of those results will start coming in, and then as those come in, we would expect other states to start getting their results in also. But he didn't have a definite time when this place will start. But I can tell you right now, most of the media people here, the journalists, are getting set. I also know that some of those that will be expected to be in here, observers, are already coming in and getting ready. But right now, it hasn't really started being filled up yet. They haven't opened it up to anybody yet.
You have a big experience on this. Sorry, Mark has come with a question, but you have a load, loads of experience covering elections. The way it is, knowing full well that this has actually spilled into today, Palm Sunday, what do you expect? Do you think that this can be, well, done within today, or should we be expecting it to go into tomorrow, which is Monday?
If I'm to hazard a guess, with the understanding that some elections are still being conducted now, which obviously will delay some of those results where they're taking place, I think it will be really just being realistic to expect that this will go into tomorrow. I'm hoping, as you can expect, I'm on ground here. It won't be with time we have now that a lot of the results may not float in, and remembering that the chairman of INEC, Professor Tahiru Jega, had promised earlier that he was expecting that the results would come in less than 48 hours after the elections, and he said this before the election started and some of the challenges we had propped up. So I think that plays with the expectation a little, and so we should be shifting our own timing a little bit from what we expected.
Okay, Larry, a quick one here. Someone just asked a question.
Yes.
One of the guests here was wondering, is it that they're going to do it all manually? All the results that are coming in from the 36 states of the Federation will just be called out manually, or are they being computerized?
Okay, well, what I understand from what Chima said is that when the elections are concluded in the states and the results are set, they have a secured means whereby electronically the results will be sent to the commission. So they have that, but that's not official. They will still have to wait for the hard copy to be brought in. And when it's brought in, it will be done manually here to cross-check with what had been sent in earlier and ensure that it tallies. Once that tallies, it will now be announced verbally here, and then only here will it then be put up on the screen here so that everybody here can see. They're also hoping that some of us, like channels, will be beaming the thing live so that every Nigerian will see the results on real time. But as in electronically, they are not depending on that for the official results.
Okay.